I just realized that it is lunch on Monday and I have not kind of updated what we've done this week for meals. So yesterday, Sunday, started a new week, and pretty much outside of the cereal that everybody had for breakfast, the rest of the day was leftovers because I wanted them out of the fridge. So there was leftover wild rice soup, there was leftover taco meat, there was all kinds of leftovers, and I insisted they get used up. So this is like the day 3 or 4 of leftovers, but I don't care because I have wasted way too much money the last few months on food that has gone bad. So I was determined not to do that. So, and then for breakfast this morning, I pulled out the applesauce muffins that we made together in one video. I'll try to remember to leave it linked for you. We had that for breakfast with some sausage patties that my daughter made. Some had eggs, and it is a blistery cold day today. I had to go pick up a kid from school, and I held the steering wheel as tight as I could, praying my way to his school because going at 15 miles an hour, I was still sliding all over the place. So it is cold, and my boys have been working out in it since 8 o'clock this morning. So I decided to make for lunch a very hot potato soup. So kind of warm their bellies up, and then as a treat, because I know they've been working so hard, I put a pumpkin cake in the oven. And the idea with that was to see if these canned carrots would work for canned pumpkin. Is kind of what's going on right now. My daughter also made a batch of protein cookies bars, so she made that so we could have some of that this week. And what else? In kind of going over what I still have left on my pantry, I kind of did a quick like wrap up of that for the grocery haul that I think you saw yesterday. I don't have my schedule in front of me. But anyway, so today I'm kind of here seeing what else needs to happen. First of all, I couldn't make this cake the way it should have been made because we were out of almond flour. So, I know it's not very flattering, but it's giving me a moment. So, kind of going through and seeing what we still need to pick up and use and whatnot. This recipe is, what do you say, like it's low sugar, low carb, whatever, but I'm using my special sugar for that. Alright, so part of last week's prep was all this beans. The beans are still good. I smelled them, I tasted them, but they do need to be made today. So we're going to make a white chicken chili. I don't have any pinto beans done, so I'm going to check the freezer, but I don't even think I have any there.
Wait, what beans?
Pinto. There's black beans in there because I was going to make the quinoa black bean salad, only to realize we are out of quinoa.
I think we have some beans down in the fridge.
The pinto, or what? The brown ones. Those are the brown ones. Like you would make for refried beans.
Yeah,
no. Exactly.
So dark.
Because there is no cream in it. It's dairy free, so there's no cream to make it creamy.
Not even almond milk?
Nope. Almond milk is too dark. So anyway, I'm rambling. That's gonna be fun too. Okay. Obviously, I'm needed now. I'm not sure where I was trying to go with it. It's getting loud. It's getting crazy. So we're gonna end it here, and I'll tell you what actually ends up happening for dinner and whatnot. One of the interesting, challenging, whatever you want to look at it, things about trying to do this. It's not really a no-spend month. It's just a low-spend month and replenish what we have in the pantry. Well, the other cool thing about it is that you start realizing where the holes are in your pantry. Now, some people prefer to make their own for a lot of things. However, ranch seasoning mix is one that I prefer at this point to buy. And I think a lot of it has to do with the best way to make a good seasoning for that is using powdered buttermilk, which I do not have. From what I've limited researched on, that is really a key ingredient. To make this white chicken chili, I need a seasoning packet that I don't have. So I went to spendwithpennies.com. It's kind of like my go-to. I need something affordable, easy. She also uses powdered buttermilk, which is not also going to work for a dairy-free daughter. Actually, now that I've got this all put together, this isn't going to work for my daughter. It's got cream cheese in it. Okay, this sausage that I'm cooking up for tomorrow's lunch, one can be for her, and I'll make up a pot of pasta and I'll have lunch ready for tomorrow. Anyway, so it's challenged me to also do things like make my own seasoning. So that is always a plus. And things like this is you learn to kind of get creative and go outside your normal routine and things like that. So lunch was amazing. That potato soup was so good. I used nutritional yeast in it, not only just to flavor it, but because it doesn't have like the half and half that I normally put in, or the or like a cheese. So I just did some nutritional yeast, and that was really good. It's a little salty, but adding a little bit of pepper worked well. And that's my chicken for the white chicken chili. So I'm back at it. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I know last night's dinner did not get filmed. I couldn't find the camera. Turns out my daughter was using it for something. So last night for dinner we had the white chicken chili and cornbread muffins, and these were really good. Somebody shared it with me, and I'll leave it down below for you. We made that one last night and it's really good. I have a daughter that does not like cornbread. She just doesn't like it. I said, well, try this one. This one's a little bit different. And she really liked it. So that one was one recipe for the win. This one uses less cornmeal than I normally see. And it was a 1-to-1 of 1 cup cornmeal and 1 cup gluten-free flour for us. So that's good. For breakfast this morning, I made a breakfast casserole. I took the potatoes I cooked yesterday. I don't think I shared that, but I put a few potatoes in my Instapot for about 8 minutes and then popped them in the fridge, because the best way to make like hash browns is with cold potatoes. But I took the potatoes out. I just grated them into the bottom of my little red casserole dish there. And then in another bowl, I put together, I think it was 10 eggs that I had left in a carton. 10 eggs, salt, pepper, bacon bits, splash of oat milk. And then on top of the hash browns, we sprinkled some of the dairy-free pepper jack cheese. And then beat the eggs up and pour that over it, and it was so good. We need to have a talk with the boys about making sure that everybody has eaten before they take a second helping, because we had a couple of people that didn't get any. The boys went for their second helping. So that made a 9 by 13, and it's funny because sometimes that will go really quickly and sometimes there's leftovers. I can never predict that. It's like bananas, you know? So for lunch today we had the plan of having sausage and pesto pasta. But we had my husband here because school was canceled today because of the icy roads. School was canceled, so that meant my husband also didn't have a school driving up there. So he came home and did some studying here. And the kids that would have gone to school at their designated time ended up staying here. So there was not enough of the pesto pasta for everybody. So I ended up making tuna cakes, which everybody's only going to be able to get one. That's going to be another thing to emphasize. Don't eat more than one tuna cake. And then I took the rest of the potatoes I had, which was like 3 or 4, and I diced them up. So they're pretty well cooked, so they can cook quickly since it's almost 1. And I'm putting them in the pan with some olive oil, a little bit of Lowry salt. I'll cook those up, serve it with the tuna patties and some avocado with it, and possibly some either diced apples or cut apples or some carrots. And that's what's going to be for lunch. And I'm out of footage, so you probably won't see the end result, but that's what we're having, and that's the plan. Do an intro here before I go into the kitchen where everybody is. John, go eat. Dinner tonight is a little bit kind of a hodgepodge because my car battery is dead again. What does that have to do with dinner, you might ask? Well, I was going to make lasagna and I had to run to the store. Start with 5 bites. Let's start with it. I was going to run to the store to get the ricotta cheese to make that. Couldn't do that, so the stuff that I had prepped for dinner couldn't use. I just saved it for another meal because I have all the stuff. All the stuff saved for that. So then I was like, what else can I do? Because things that I can put quickly usually take some kind of like sour cream or things like that. I don't have any. And to be honest, like, I don't have a whole lot of time. My 2 eldest have catechism tonight that my husband will take in the other car. So we were kind of like scrambling. So I wanted to give the scrambling intro before I showed you what we ended up having for dinner tonight.
Kind of down. And then like, wait, what was it again?
So we have salads that we managed to put together. And so we're having salads with whatever I found. So there's olives, there's the last of the avocados, there's some sunflower seeds, there's black beans. What else? Some different cheeses, some tortilla chips, 8 leftover bell peppers. And then this is a like Greek salad. It's made with chickpea, cucumber, cumin, paprika, lemon, not olives, tomatoes, and a red onion. And this is really good. So I'll be eating this. Nobody seems to like this one, so I like it. Quite content in eating it all myself. You like it, but it doesn't like you. So I will eat that for dinner. So we're kind of just doing a vegetarian dish tonight. Too bad it's not Monday. We could say it's our meatless Monday meal, but it's Tuesday. We make it work. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to show you that I have 2 kids making breakfast the night before. So this is the night that their older siblings are at catechism. So, Catherine, can you tell me what you did for breakfast tomorrow?
What?
Can you tell me what you did for breakfast tomorrow?
Well, some eggs.
How did you do that?
I put some eggs in the Instapot bowl, and I put 1 cup of water in it, and then I put it on 7 minutes.
7 or 5?
It was 7.
You sure?
No, it was 5.
Are you sure it was 5? Okay. And then what did I say to do next? When it beeps?
Oh, to release this thing.
After
After it beeps.
After it beeps, we have to wait till L.
5.
And then?
You release it.
Okay, and then we'll have some boiled eggs for breakfast. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. Johnny, what did you do to help for breakfast?
What I?
Did you boil russet potato?
You boiled russet for potato. Done.
All right, and Benjamin, can you tell me what you're making for breakfast?
Oatmeal cake.
I made oatmeal cake.
3 cups of rolled oats. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of salt.
Baking sauce.
Baking
Baking sauce.
2 eggs. Cup of
A cup of sugar.
1/2 cup of melted butter. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 3/4 of a cup of dried cranberry.
We're skipping the cranberries. So what we are using instead of cranberries is I have a lot of unfinished apples here. Unfinished apples from, yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I have unfinished apples from the kid I babysit. She didn't finish all of hers. And we have that happen a lot with the kids I babysit. So I'm gathering up fragments as Amy Marion says. I'm gathering up the fragments and we're going to add it to tomorrow's oatmeal breakfast. I just want to make sure that I'm getting all the started apples. So I'm going to chop those up in my food chopper. We're going to add it to this and we're going to have breakfast ready for tomorrow. Hey, so we're going on dinner now, but for breakfast we had the oatmeal cake that my son made and boiled eggs that my daughter made, and there was some boiled eggs left over. And so for lunch we tried going to the park. It was a pretty cold day. We didn't last very long, but we packed some egg salad sandwiches with the leftover boiled eggs, and that's what we did for lunch. Okay, here is dinner. There is the lasagna. I have the other one in the back fridge, probably for Sunday. Here is some green beans, and I made the tomato soup that my kids will eat for lunch tomorrow, and my daughter can have tonight, since this is pretty heavy with the dairy. And that's what we're going to have for dinner. Hello, so my daughter and I had to be at a doctor's appointment today, which meant I was not able to film as much of the meals. I was not able to film the meals for everyone, but before we left I made everybody some sausage and some eggs, and then the kids had leftover the tomato soup that I made last night for my daughter since she couldn't eat the lasagna. She had that. She had the tomato soup, and then everybody else ate the rest of it for lunch today. And now for dinner we're having that turkey, and the green bean casserole is in the oven, and the potatoes are on the stove, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a little bit. Hello, it is Thursday morning, and today for breakfast it was a mad dash because I overslept, kids overslept, we were all extremely tired, and we had piano today. So a lot of it was everybody had smoothies, that we're going to have smoothies, and leftovers, like it was a scramble. We had, some had bananas, some had other things. I was determined not to get down with cereal. I was like, there's leftovers you can eat, just do that. So that's what we did. And now we're having lunch, which is actually more leftovers. I am pulling out the rest of the lasagna to have for lunch, and the reason for that is I do not have my one daughter for the next 2 days, and I want to make sure that the dairy stuff gets eaten up so that since she's not here I won't have to make sure that I find something else for her to eat. So that's what we're going to have for lunch. Pretty much what we had for breakfast was whatever you could scramble to find. That's been fun. So yeah, lasagna for lunch, and I'll let you know what we're going to have for dinner. And for breakfast this morning, we are having the leftover mashed potatoes. I made potato cakes and sausage and gravy, and that's what we're having for breakfast.